Okay. So by yesterday's class, we were discussing regarding the shared preferences. Okay, so we discussed some of the basic concept for shared preferences, and then we seen some examples, and also we seen what are the different types of device storages which are available. Okay, different storage forms which are available. So all these we have discussed by yesterday's class. So shared preference we have completed, and then we will be discussing regarding internal storage and external storage in today's class. Okay, so when you say it is an internal storage, store the private data in your device memory. It helps you to store the private data in your device memory. When we say external data, it stores the public data on the shared external storage. Okay, so when you say it's external, it can be removed and be taken anywhere, so obviously it comes as public data. Okay, so it will become as public data. Okay, so we'll call that as an public data, and which is stored in the external storage devices. Okay, so in today's class we'll be dealing with the internal storage as well as the external storage. Okay, actually this is our third topic in our today's in unit 3, so we'll discuss that. So the generic title given in your syllabus is the file handling in Android. Okay, so the title here is file handling in Android. So when you say file handling, either you can handle your file internal in an internal memory or in a external memory. You can handle it both ways, whichever you like. Okay, if you want to be private, you can make it as an internal. If you want it to be public, you can make it as external. It is up to you to decide. Okay, so your app, okay, whenever you need the data, it will always look into the storage. That storage can be either internal storage or external storage, but commonly it is a storage. Okay, it depends upon your storage. Your app will be installed on a storage in some location, and for the corresponding files will be loaded in some other location. Okay, the corresponding files, in the sense the files which are needed for us to access. So that will be either in internal at in some cases, and external some cases. So which you feel it confidential, that will be available inside the internal storage, and which is you feel which is not that much secured, that no need to be get secured, so that can be stored in the external memory. Okay, so all these are some of the basic introduction for file handling. So we'll go for our today's session. So in Android, so we have the different storage options such as shared preferences, internal storage, external storage, SQLite storage, etc. You all know that. So that's we discussed by now, or even by yesterday we discussed. Okay, to store and retrieve the application data based upon your requirement. As per your requirement, you are supposed to decide where your data has to be stored, in an internal storage or external storage. Okay, so now in our session, first we'll start learning internal storage, how the data can be stored internally and how it can be retrieved back. Okay, if I want to write it, how that can be how I can write into the file. If I want to read from the file, how I can read from the file. Okay, so that we are going to discuss in today's class for internal storage. So likewise, we will, after learning this internal storage, we will also learn for external storage also. Okay, for external storage, how this can be done. So under internal storage, okay, is for the private data on a device memory. It is for private data. Already we know it. It is for private data. Okay. So by default, saving and loading of files to the internal storage are private to the application, and other application will not have access to these files. You also know this. Yesterday we discussed. While we were discussing with shared preferences, we gave some basic introduction. Okay, there we learned this. And when the user uninstalls the application, the internal stored file associated with the application will also be removed. So this point also we discussed yesterday. All these are the characteristics that we discussed, that we seen in a tabular column, where we discussed the individual characteristics for shared preferences, internal storage, media access. All this we've seen in a different form, in a tabular form. There we discuss all these points. Okay. However, note that some user root their Android phones gaining the super access. So this is possible, and these users will be able to read and write wherever files they wish. Okay, whenever files they wishes. Okay, so this is the basic introduction for the Android file handling, and that too we are specifically focused on internal storage. And in this internal storage, so reading and writing a text file in the Android internal storage. So how to read and write the text file in a Android internal storage, so that we will discuss. So this Android offers an open output, that is open file input and open file output from a Java IO classes to identify reading and writing of streams into the local files. Okay, so with the help of this IO classes which are available in Java, we are going to read and write the files in the internal storage. So for that, we are going to see some small code snippets, how that can be implemented, what are the methods are used, okay, what is the logics used, all this we are going to discuss. Okay, so in order to use the internal storage to write the data in the file, so we call the open file output method with the name of the file in the along with the mode. Okay, so if you see the syntax for that, this is the syntax. Okay, so this will be the syntax for that. Okay, so this will be the syntax. File open output will be the syntax for that. So file open output stream and f out is the object equal to open file output of, and here the file name will be given and the mode, which mode it is, either to write or read or append, that is what mode you want to do, all these will be given here. Okay, so the method open file output method returns the instance of the file output stream. Okay, so you can receive it in the object of the file input stream. So whatever you write, that will be given, that can be accessed with the help of object. So when I say object, this f out, okay, this f out is the object. With the help of this object, I am going to use it here. Okay. So after that, you can call and write data into the file using the syntax below. String str is equal to data. This is some input data you given, and the f out dot write dot, okay, f out dot write bracket inside bracket str. Str is nothing but this one, the str variable dot get bytes. When I say get bytes, what happens? It will read line by line, or sorry, character by character. Okay, and then finally object dot close. We close this. So this is how we are going to read. Okay, this is what we are going to write the file. Just here we use write. Okay, f out dot write. When I say f out dot write, what happens? We are going to write into the particular file with the help of a object, string object. Okay, that is the file output stream object f out. Okay, with the help of write method, we are going to use write method. See here, write method, and we use the object f out. So this f out is nothing but, as I already stated you, file output stream. We are going to write it to the file. Okay, so we are write this f out, and finally we close it. Same way reading the file. So in order to read the file, you just created. You can call file in, that is open file input. Okay, you are going to read it, right? So now I'm going to read it. So open file input method, and with the help of this, what we can do, so we'll see it the help of a syntax. So the file input stream fin is the object is equal to open file input of file name. When I give file name, what happens? It will help you to read it. Okay, with the help of this object, fin is the object. With the help of this object, I'm going to read one by one. So after that, you can call read method to read one character at a time from the file, and then you can print it with the help of the following syntax. You're going to read line by line. Okay, in that line by line, character by character, you are going to read. Okay, line by line, in that line, character by character. Okay, character by character it will read, and then finally it will be displayed. Or if you want to store it in some other file, that is also possible. So int c string temp equal to, initially it will be null, okay, or empty. So while c is equal to f in the read, not is equal to -1. Not is equal to means till we reach end of the file. Okay, till we reach end of the file. So temp is equal to temp plus character dot toString of character of c. So what happens? It will read character by character. Okay, because we have used the type conversion here, character of c. Even though we use toString, character dot toString, and then we typecast it to character dot c. So each and every character will be read, and it will be stored inside this temp, where the temp is given in declared in string variable. Okay, whatever you read, that will be appended to the temp variable, and finally with the help of this temp variable, we can read all the content. Okay, so finally after that, what we do, we close it. Fin dot close. Okay, so this is how we are going to read the file. Some basic introduction. So we have a full code snippet. We'll show that. as of now, this is what how to read as well as how to write. So this is the code for writing the file, and there is a code for reading the file. And apart from the reading and writing, there are many other methods which are available to read and write more effectively. Okay, so this is the screen which shows the file output stream. When I say file output, we are going to write something. When I say file output, we are going to write something. Okay, so we'll see what are the methods which are available under file output stream. So file output stream of file space file boolean append. So this method constructs a new file output stream that writes to the file. Okay, it provides a new file output stream that writes to the file. Okay, next one is channel, get channel. So this method returns a write-only file channel that shares its position with its stream. Okay, so this will help you to get the position, in which position we are going to write. And then FD. So this method returns the underlying file descriptors. Okay, descriptors can be read with the help of this get FD. And then write byte. Okay, all these are some of the methods which are available, and these are just for our understanding. We are not going to program it, so just learn what are the methods which are available. When I say the fourth one, write, so where we pass three arguments. One is byte buffer. Okay, one is in the byte method, another one is integer byte offset, and then byte count, how much byte we have read it. Okay, and then integer byte offset values. We are going to set some offset for that, and then byte buffer. Okay, so all these are the three arguments that we are going to pass it in a write method. Okay, and here we are going to use byte array. You can see byte of array. So we are using array concept here. With the help of this array concept, we are going to read and write the content. Okay, so actually in this screen we are writing the content. Since we are using file output stream, this is for writing the file. Okay, and the next one is for file input stream. When I say file input stream, so this is to read. So this is to read the content. Okay, so here we have again four methods available: get channel, get FD, and then read. Okay, so this you can learn it later. Learn it later means you study of your own. So these are some of the methods which are available under file input stream. So as of now, our objective is learning how to read and write a file into a input, that is the internal file, sorry, internal storage as well as external storage. Okay, and the next one is Android internal storage example. We are going to see a simple example how to read and write, okay, a file in an internal memory. For that, I have some small code snippet which covers all the XML file as well as the Java file along with an output. So we'll discuss how a file can be created. After created, how it is written and how it is read, okay, in the internal memory. So that we are going to discuss. So the following is an example of storing and returning the data files from the device internal memory by using file output and file input stream objects. As we shown previously, file output is for write and file input stream is for read. Okay, so create a new object Android application using a Android Studio, which gives the names as internal storage example. You can give a name as internal storage, like for understanding. Okay, it is not that you are supposed to follow the same name. It is for understanding. And once we create an application, okay, open the activity main.xml file, since we need to design our page, right, first page. So we open that. Okay, and in that activity.main.xml, what we do, as per this example, okay, it has been taken from the internet. This code has been taken from the internet as per the example which is given here. So we have a text view. Okay, we have a text view here. In the text view, okay, we are going to give name as username. We are going to give it as username, and for this, this will be the right hand side. Text view will be right hand side, sorry, left hand side, and in the right hand side, we are going to add the edit text. We are going to add the edit text at the right hand side. So when I say edit text, what will happen? When it displays username on the left hand side, on to the right hand side, what you do? You are going to give the username for your application. Okay, you are going to give username for your application. For that, text view will be at the left hand side. In the left hand side, you will have a text view which is displayed as username, and in the right hand side, you need to type your username. Okay, and next one is again a text view. In the text view, what we do? We display as password. In the text view, we display it as password. And for that password, what we need to do? We need to create a edit text method. So whenever a password is required, you are supposed to enter password. So for that, it is edit text. Okay. And next one is button. Okay. And we have what we did now. We have two text view, two edit view, and next one we have a button. So what is this button? This button is nothing but save. Whatever input you give, all this has to be stored into a storage. All has to be stored into the storage. For that, we need to have a button. So this is the layout which we have designed. So in this screen or main activity, we'll have two text view. One text view will be username, and second text view will be password. And to input username and password, we need to edit text. Input and there is a username and password. We need to edit text. So one edit text will get the input from the user, okay, for username, and the second edit text will get input from the user for password. And last one, once the username and input, username and password is given as the input, finally we can click the save button to store it to the internal storage. For that, this is the activity window. Okay, this is the first main activity. Okay, this we have designed just a main activity. So after this, what happens, we'll see. And now we will create another layout resources, okay, like details.xml. Details.xml. So now this will details.xml, where you could see the file name, the details.xml. Now this will act as the second activity. This will act as the second activity. Your first activity would be main activity.xml. So this will be your first activity. Activity underscore main.xml would be your first activity or first screen. Once you log in, this will be your first screen. Okay, and next this will be your second screen. This will be your second screen. Okay, this will be your second screen, and that will be your first screen. So inside the second screen, what you have given a text view, and we have given a button. Okay, in the text view, what happens? Whatever you entered there, all that information will be displayed in the text view. For that, we have created a text view. Okay, so what will be the input for this text view is, so here we given username as the one edit text. Okay, and under edit text we given username, and under second edit text we have given the password. So these two input, okay, these two input will be stored, or it will be displayed in the text view in the second screen. First screen, you are going to give your username and password as the input in first screen. Once you give username and password and click save button, all those information will be stored in internal. Also, that will be carry forwarded to second screen also. In the second screen also, your username and password will be displayed. Okay, your username and password will be displayed on the screen. So this is what the application, just for understanding purpose, it has been developed. Okay. Next one is coming to the coding part. So we have designed the framework, we have designed the layout. So in that layout, what is in first layout, what are the components you need to have, we have designed. In the second layout, what are the components or elements we need to have, so that we have designed. And now we need to code it. We need to code it. Only then it will be working properly. That is working properly is nothing but whenever I click the save button, what to be done. When I come to back button, what has to be done. When I click save button, what has to be done. Your username and password should be saved into the internal memory. When I click save button. Okay, and in the second screen, you'll have only the back button. When you click the back button, what happens? It should come to the front screen. So like that, based upon the actions, we are going to write some program. Okay. So this is the main activity.java. Okay, this is my main activity.java. Okay, so it is stored into this path. You can store into the, but this is the file. There is the the package. In this package path, we are going to change the main activity.java. Okay, where you could see here, we are going to get input. Get input is with the help of edit text. Okay, username, password, and then save button. Okay, so we are given edit text at find view id dot r.id dot text name as well as text dot password as well as button. So for the button, we have created an action listener, on click listener. We have created on click listener. Under on click listener, what we are going to do is return to the right hand side here. Okay, this is for on click listener. Okay, so this is for on click listener. So public void on click, okay, string username is equal to uname dot get string, as well as for password. We are getting input, username and password for the user input. Okay, and then fstream of file open user details, and which mode we are going to open, that mode has to be given, mode private. So here it is given as mode private. Why it is made private? Since we are storing an internal memory, it should be made private. Okay, and fstream dot write username get bytes, fstream dot write your password get bytes. We are going to write it into the file. Here what we do, we get input from the user. After getting the input from the user, what we do? On click event. On click event, what it has to be written into the file, because while you click the save button, what has to be done? This information, that is the username and password, have to be written into the file, which is in the internal storage. Okay, so this, for that I use the fstream. For fstream, I'm going to write some data into the file, which is stored into the internal memory. Okay, some text file, like how you type in notepad. That is one text file. So like that, inside the text file, your username and password will be typed, and then it will be saved into the internal memory. Okay. So after that, what we do? We just close all our activities. We perform the username and password that has to be written into the particular file. After that, we close all our files. So this is what your first main activity that we do in our main activity. And then if you observe the above code, we are taking the entered username and password details and saving it to the local file and redirecting user to another activity. As I already said you, whatever you type it, that will be stored into the file. Also, we carry forward that username and password into the next activity. Next activity is nothing but second screen. From the first screen, we move on to second screen. Okay, if you want to make it much clear, let us take an example. If you take a Gmail, in Gmail, what you do? You type your username and password. Once you type the username and password, it will go to the second screen, where you could see your mails, list of mails available. But on the top of the right corner, what you can see? There it will display your login information. Like for example, if it is my name Prasad will be displayed on the top right. Okay, because this is my account. Since it is my account, based upon the user information, so my information will be displayed on the right hand side. Same way, now what happens? I give username and password in the first screen, and that information will be stored into the local device, as well as it is carry forwarded to the second screen. Okay, so how my name is displayed in my second screen? I enter my detail in the first screen, username and password of Gmail. Once I log in, what happens? My email ID and other details will also be displayed in my second screen, or there is my mail window, in my mail window also. So that we call it as the second activity. Okay, that is carry forward to second activity. Okay, same way we do it here. Okay, so this is what the basic introduction. And now this is my second activity Java. First one we seen one Java file. So this Java file, there is the main activity to Java is your first Java file. What to be done in your first screen? What to be done in your first screen? It is main activity Java. What we need to do in our second screen, it is details activity Java. In the second screen, what we are going to do? Okay, we have a design. For the design, we are going to code it. What coding we are going to discuss now? Okay. So under on create, we are used on create method. Okay, we know the life cycle, right? Life cycle of Android. In that we are using on create. Same way in previous also we'll be using on create. We could also see we'll be using on create. On create is when it is going to create for the first time or it is getting loaded. What we are supposed to do. Okay. Under that only we are going to write our code on create. So here we are going to text view. So you can we see text view where we are going to view your username and password, whatever we have given as the input in the previous case. Okay. In the previous case, what we did, we forwarded on button click. Whenever a button is clicked, that will be forwarded to next screen. Okay, that username and password. So based upon the button activity, okay, we are going to read the input file, that is the user details. Whatever the user has given as the user detail, all will be read until it is made as null or until we reach the end of the line in a file until we reach the end of the line, we are going to read all the character one by one, and that will be displayed in the text, and then that will be displayed in the text view. For that, this is the coding part. Okay, this is the coding part for second activity. So just your information will be displayed on the screen. Whatever you given in the first activity, thus the information will be displayed on the screen. Okay. And this is the manifest file. Manifest file, you know what is meant by manifest file. That is the launcher, I can say. The basic information which will contain, okay, what has to be done. Okay, what action it has to perform. So that file it is. Okay. And you could see the output for the internal storage, how the internal storage is working. I give username and password and I click save button. When I click save, what happens? It forwards to the next page where it displays the name as Suresh and password as some password. Okay, and when I click after what happens? You could see at the bottom the details saved successfully. This is okay. So this is the toast message. The details saved successfully where you could see. This is the message which we displayed. Okay. Is the message which we display here. If you see in this code, we'll be displaying it, the email, the message saved successfully. Okay, where you could see some line. Some post message would have created. I have deleted it or not, I don't know. Yeah, toast message, we have it here. See, we have created a toast message. Toast made text dot details saved successfully. So here in the main activity, we display it toast message. Okay, so this toast message is nothing but this one. Okay, what is displayed here, we call it as toast message. The details saved successfully will be the message that will be displayed. Once I click the back button, it will go to the first screen. When I click the save button, it will go to the second screen. Okay, for that only we created two different Java files. Okay, we have created two different Java files. So one file will be for your first screen and second file will be for your second screen. Okay. So this is what the operation of an internal storage. Okay. Now it will be stored privately in your internal memory. Okay. Able to understand how to create a file, how to read a file. Okay. From reading, how to what are the other functionalities that we can do. I can take it to the next screen, or if I want, I can display it somewhere. Whatever you want, you can do it. Okay, so this is for this application alone. If you want to go it for next some other application, you need to give permissions. You need to give permission for other applications to read all your information, like how you use Gmail. So when you use Gmail for LinkedIn or Facebook, it will ask whether I can share your basic information to the Facebook or WhatsApp or something. It will ask, right? So in that case, what happens? Whatever it is private and whichever is necessary, that alone will be sent for the new message or new websites. Okay, so that we call it as the sharing of information private. From private, we are going to publicly. Any doubt on this? Internal storage, Android internal storage. Any doubt on this? Could you able to follow me what I'm trying to say? How internal storage is working?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now itself started giving attendance. You have still time. Please wait for some time. Okay. And the next one would be Android external storage. So how we store it internally, same way we can also make our data available at external storage in SD card. This is simply XD card. Okay. So for that, how to write and read. Okay, we'll see within simple snap snippets. So I have not given this much detail how we seen for internal. So I've included entire code for internal. Like this, I have not taken the entire code snippet for external storage. Whichever is essential, I have made only that alone. Okay, so like how we use it for internal, the same kind of coding is applicable for the external storage also. But we'll see what is more essentially needed. That alone we'll discuss. Okay, for external storage, because more or less everything is same. Only the type of storage differs. Read and write operation, all things are same. Only thing, the type of storage only it is going to get different. Okay. So here we are going to see how the external storage option to store retrieve of data from external storage media like this SD card, you can say. Okay, in Android, SD card, okay, our external storage is useful to store the data files publicly on the shared external storage file using the file output stream object. Okay, and after storing the data files on the external storage, we can read the data file from external storage media using file input stream. Okay, as we seen what we seen previously. When we say it is read, okay, when we say it is a read, we are going to read with the help of, when we say it is a read, we are going to read with the help of file input stream. Okay, so when we are going to write something, we are going to do with the help of file output stream. So this is quite common. Just remember this. Okay, so the data file saved in the internal storage are word readable and can be modified by the user when they enable USB mass storage to transfer the files to a computer. All this you know. Okay, we need to enable the USB mass storage files transfer to your computer. When we need to enable, you know it. Okay, when we need to copy, okay, transfer data, that at that time we need to enable the USB mass storage. Okay, and the granting of access to the external storage. How to grant access? So to read or write files on an external storage, our app must acquire write external storage and read external storage system permission. Okay, it has to be given by the application, given in the application. So for that, what we need to do, we need to add the following permissions in your Android manifest file. So what kind of permission you need to add? So Android.permission.write external storage. Android.permission.read external storage. Okay, read and write permission. We need to give read and write external storage permission that has to be added in your manifest file itself. Okay, so next one is checking the external storage availability. You may program it, but we don't know whether that particular mobile is having the SD card or not. So if it does not have SD card, we need to send some message. It does not have any SD card. So in that case, how to do that? Okay, so here we check for the three conditions. Okay, if you see in this code snippet, we can check whether both read and write operations are available. Okay, or only read operation is available, or SD card not mounted. So here it is programmed for three cases. Here it is programmed for three cases. You can check whether the memory card is full or free. So if it is free, how much it is free? If it is full, how much how much space is available? Like that, you can add n number of conditions to this. But as of now, we have taken three conditions. One, we check for read and write operations are available. Okay, and second one, we check only read operation is alone available. We can't write it to this. Okay, and third one is SD card is available or not available. All the three cases that you could take in your external storage availability. Okay, that is done with the help of get external storage state. By calling this this method, what we can do, we'll come to know. Okay, we'll come to know as per this example, we'll come to know whether we can both read and write the files into the SD card, or only we can read the file from the SD card, or no SD card available in the mobile. So what state exactly it is? Okay, if you want, you can add a number of states under below this code. Okay, so this is done with the help of get external storage state. Okay, and if you observe the above code snippet, we use get external storage state method to know the status of the media mounted on a computer. Okay, such as missing, whether the media is missing or only read only or in some other state. Okay, So in Android, by using the get external storage publish directory, we have also another method called get external storage publish directory method. So we can access the files from the appropriate public directory by passing the type, okay, passing the type of directory that we want, okay, like directory music, directory files, directory ringtones. That is based upon our requirement. We can also publish it. So when we want to get my data from the particular storage media, what we need to do? We need to store you need to store your data into the corresponding directory. Only then, while retrieving, it is much easier for us. Okay, so that is what is given the third point. So if we save our files corresponding to the media type public directory, the system's media scanner can properly categorize your files in the system. So we need to give, or we need to store in a proper directory. If it is a ringtone related, we should store in the ringtone folder. Pictures, it should be stored in the picture folder. Music, it is stored in the music folder. So that while retrieving or when the media scanner is scanning the files, it will be much easier for them to categorize the different types of files. Okay, and then it is able to display. And this is the following example to create a directory for a new photo album in a public pictures directory. Okay, so this is simple code snippet for creating a new directory alone. After creating the directory, whether the directory created or not, just we are checking here. Okay, file object is file equal to new file name. We are going to create a new file name. Okay, and a directory that pictures. The environment is directory pictures. Okay, we are going to give them album name, and then if not file.mk directory. Okay, which is we are going to check it in the log tag, which is not available, the directory is not created. Based upon the log, what we check, whether the file is created or not. If it is not created, okay, it will send a warning messages, directory not created, or if it is created, it will display. That's it. So this is a simple code snippet to show how a new directory can be created. Okay, and write a file to your Excel storage. Write a file to the external, so how a file can be written into the external storage. And next one we'll see how to read a file from the external storage. Okay, so now we are going to write to the external storage. So by using Android, okay, by using Android, file output stream object, output stream object, the same we use it for internal also, internal storage also we use the same thing. Okay, and get external storage public directory method, you can easily create okay, and write the data to the file in an external storage public folder. So in order to write, what we need to do, we need to use get external storage public directory method. With the help of this method, what I can do, I can write something to the external storage. Okay, so we'll see some example now. So we have declared a string variable of the name file name, where this the variable name as file name equal to user detail, and string name is equal to Suresh. See, it's another variable name which we give input as Suresh. And now file folder is equal to environment.get external storage public directory. This one we have used this. Okay, environment.directory underscore downloads. Okay, and file my file is equal to new file of folder comma file name. So here we are going to use new. When I use new, what happens? It will create a new. It will create a new file, and then we are going to write something into the new file. Okay, and the file output stream f stream is equal to new file output stream of my file. Okay, semicolon, and the semicolon till that it finishes. This line is over, and next line f stream dot write name dot get bytes of. Okay, so till that this code is also over, and next line f stream dot close. Okay, so in this line, what happens? Using fstream method, we open new file, that is my file. My file is nothing but whatever we are going to give in your file name. What file name we are going to give, that is accessed with the help of this my file object. And this my file object, I'm calling it here. After that, I'm going to get bytes. Get bytes is nothing but I'm going to write something into the file. Okay, so if you observe the code above, we are creating a file. Okay, we are writing a file in a device. In this where we are going to write, we are going to use download folder. How do I say it is download folder? Since I use the directory.downloads. Since I use environment directory.downloads. So what happens now? A folder is created on the download folder using which method? Get external storage public directory method. Using get external storage public directory method, I am going to create a folder, and that folder is available under downloads, because I am giving where the folder has to be created. I say the folder has to be created under download directory. So now under download, a file has been created, and that I'm going to give some input. So for that, we use write method to write the data in the file and use close method to close the stream. Okay, so we use the write method to write the data into the file, and we use close method to close the file stream. Okay, we create a new file under download directory, and we are going to write something. For writing, we use write method, and for close the file, we use close method. That's it. So this is what the external storage. Okay, write a file to the external storage. The next one is reading a file to the external storage. How to read a file? So by using the Android file, okay, Android file input stream object. So now I can read with the help of file input stream object, and get external public directory method. Okay, we can easily read the file from the external storage. So for reading, what we are going to do, get external storage public directory. We are going to read it. Get external storage public directory. We are going to read it. Okay, and read the data from the download folder, because given clearly from the download folder, we are going to read our files with the help of this method, get external storage public directory method. We are going to read something. Okay, using which object? File input stream object. Using file input stream object, I am going to read. Okay, so for that, you can see here. So directory downloads, my file.new, my file.name. After that, file input stream fstream is equal to new input stream of my file. I'm calling the same object here. String buffer s buffer is equal to new string buffer of method. In that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to read character by character or word by word. So until I reach the end of the file, every f file, f stream I'm using. So it will read until I reach the end of the file. What I'm going to do, I'm going to read character by character. See here it is given as character. So I'm going to read character by character, and it should be appended. Okay. And finally, I close the file. Okay. And this is a simple example to show you, okay, how the external storage can be done. So here they give username and password. Here we are going to give username and password and click save. When I click save, what happens? It is asking the permission of the user. User should grant allow permission to store into the external storage. Once the allow permission is granted, it will go to the second screen. Under the second screen, what is that? You could see the name as well as the password which is given, and then you have the back button. Once you click the back button, again you will come to the front screen itself. Okay, so this is how we are going to read and write the data from the internal storage as well as in the external storage. So for that, what are the methods we are going to use? So that we have discussed now. Okay, and how the read and write can happen. So that also we discussed. So any doubt in this external storage? Any doubt in this external storage? How the read and write operation in external storage can be carried out? So as of now, we have seen by yesterday's class, we discussed the shared preferences. And in today's class, we have discussed the internal storage techniques and then outer external storage technique. In internal storage, how to read and write. In external storage, how to read and write. Okay, you can give your own file, wherever location you want to create a directory, you can create it, and then you can read and write the content into the file. All is possible. So till this, we'll stop our today's class. Okay, reading and writing of data in internal external storage, and the rest we'll discuss in next class. Okay, so if you don't have any doubts, you can give your register numbers. You can enter your register numbers for attendance. And what about the assignment? Have you all seen your assignment? I posted on GCR. You please try to submit your assignments. Okay, those who don't know also, you please go and see to your GCR. We have given the assignment. That assignment has to be submitted on time. Okay, so once the PPT is ready for third unit, I'll post it into the GCR. Okay, it is getting prepared. Once it is ready, I'll post it. Okay, anything else to be asked?